Grand Maester Pycelle, a name that echoes through the halls of the Red Keep. For many long years he served as a fixture in the royal court, advising the crown for over 4 decades. Under his watchful eye, 6 kings graced the Iron Throne. Aegon V was the first to receive his counsel, followed by Jaehaerys II and the infamous Aerys the Mad. Then came Robert Baratheon, Joffrey and Tommen. In a world of constant change, his presence was a steadfast constant. Was he merely a quiet observer, or perhaps a hidden player in the Game of Thrones? His true role often remained shrouded in doubt. The story of Pycelle is one of loyalty, betrayal and survival. Pycelle's appearance, well, it certainly spoke of great age. Sparse hair clung to his bald head and his scalp bore the marks of many years. A long, snowy beard flowed down to his chest, cascading over his rather broad stomach. This white curtain hid much of his face, concealing a small mouth often set, and the gaps where teeth were missing. He looked every bit the venerable, wise old man. His entire presentation was a carefully crafted illusion designed to disarm and deceive those around him. Pycelle's journey began at the Citadel, that ancient seat of learning in Old Town. The Citadel was a place where knowledge was revered above all else, and young Pycelle was determined to absorb every bit of it. There he studied diligently, forging his maester's chain during the reign of King Maekar I Targaryen. Each link of the chain represented a different field of knowledge, and Pycelle was relentless in his pursuit of mastery. His ambition, likely kindled in those early days, sought more than just a quiet life of service. He was not content with merely being a scholar. He wanted to be a player in the grand Game of Thrones. He aimed for a position of influence and power, with the title of Grand Maester as his ultimate goal. This title would place him at the heart of the realm's political machinations, advising kings and shaping the future of Westeros. His opportunity to rise came unexpectedly when Maester Meryon, chosen as Grand Maester to serve King Aegon V Targaryen, died while travelling to King's Landing. This sudden vacancy opened the door for Pycelle to step into the role he had long coveted. Thus he became Grand Maester to Aegon V, marking the beginning of his long tenure, a tenure that would span over 4 decades. During this time, Pycelle would navigate the treacherous waters of court politics, always striving to maintain his position and influence. He had reached the pinnacle of his order, serving a total of 6 kings. Each reign brought its own challenges and opportunities, and Pycelle's ability to adapt and survive was a testament to his cunning and ambition. His path to power was not just a personal journey, but a reflection of the ever-changing landscape of Westeros. During the reign of Aerys II Targaryen, a time marked by political intrigue and growing unrest, Pycelle developed a profound admiration for one man, Tywin Lannister, the Hand of the King. Tywin's reputation for being a master strategist and a formidable leader was well known throughout the realm. Tywin was a figure of strength and ruthless efficiency, a man who commanded respect and fear in equal measure. His ability to maintain order and control was unmatched, and Pycelle saw in him the embodiment of what a ruler should be. Pycelle assisted him in governing the realm, offering his wisdom and counsel in matters both great and small. He became an indispensable part of Tywin's inner circle, always ready to support his decisions and enforce his will. He praised Lord Tywin's leadership to the Citadel, extolling his virtues and highlighting his successes. Pycelle believed that Tywin's rule brought stability and prosperity, and he was eager to share this belief with others. Seeing in him the qualities of a great ruler, Pycelle's admiration grew into a deep, unwavering loyalty. This loyalty was not just professional but personal, as he saw Tywin as the savior of the realm. This admiration grew into a deep, unwavering loyalty, making Pycelle a staunch and reliable ally of House Lannister. He was willing to go to great lengths to ensure their success and protect their interests. Despite his maester's oath to serve the realm impartially, Pycelle consistently promoted the interests of the Lannisters. His actions often reflected his belief that the Lannisters were the best hope for the future of the Seven Kingdoms. Despite his maester's oath to serve the realm impartially, Pycelle consistently promoted the interests of the Lannisters. He saw their rise to power as a necessary step for the stability of the realm. Pycelle consistently promoted the interests of the Lannisters. His decisions and advice often bent in their favour, subtly influencing the course of events to benefit House Lannister. His decisions and advice often bent in their favour. He believed that aligning with the Lannisters was the best way to ensure peace and prosperity for the realm. He believed that what was good for House Lannister was ultimately good for the Seven Kingdoms. This belief guided his actions and decisions, making him a key player in the political landscape of Westeros. This allegiance was a defining feature of his character, guiding his actions through many critical events. Pycelle's loyalty to House Lannister was unwavering, and it shaped his legacy as a maester. Guiding his actions through many critical events, Pycelle's unwavering loyalty to House Lannister was a defining feature of his character. It influenced his every move and decision, leaving an indelible mark on the history of the Seven Kingdoms. The death of Lord Jon Arryn cast a long shadow over the realm. He was, after all, the hand of the king to Robert Baratheon. His sudden illness and demise were quite suspicious. Lysa Arryn, his widow, fled to the Eyrie, and she accused the Lannisters of murdering her husband. Pycelle himself, at first, feigned ignorance of any foul play. He suggested that Lord Arryn's death was natural, but later on, the truth of Pycelle's involvement emerged. He confessed that he had allowed Jon Arryn to die, ensuring that the efforts to save him failed. Pycelle's interactions with Eddard Stark were carefully managed. Every word, every gesture was calculated to present an image of a loyal and somewhat bumbling advisor. But beneath this facade lay a shrewd and cunning mind, always working in the shadows to further his own interests and those of his true masters. He presented himself as a helpful, if somewhat doddering, advisor. His appearance of frailty and forgetfulness was a carefully crafted act, designed to make others underestimate him. In truth, Pycelle was anything but harmless. He was a master of manipulation, using his position to gather information and influence events to his advantage. He provided Lord Stark with the lineages and histories of the great houses. This seemingly innocuous gesture was in fact a calculated move. Pycelle knew that the book contained vital clues about the true parentage of the royal children, a secret that could shake the very foundations of the realm. This very book held clues to the royal children's parentage. The genealogical charts and lineage illustrations within its pages were more than just historical records. They were pieces of a puzzle that, when put together, revealed a truth that many would kill to keep hidden. When Tywin Lannister's forces raided the Riverlands, Pycelle advised caution and delay against action. His counsel was not born out of concern for the realm, but rather a desire to give the Lannisters time to consolidate their power. By urging inaction, he ensured that the Lannisters could act with impunity, furthering their own ambitions. He also tended to Eddard after his fight with Jaime Lannister. Pycelle's ministrations were more than just the duties of a healer. They were an opportunity to gather information and influence Eddard's decisions. Every potion, every bandage, was a chance to steer the hand of the king in a direction that suited Pycelle's true loyalties. His loyalty to the Lannisters extended to King Robert's end. Pycelle's allegiance was not to the crown, but to the family that he believed would secure his own power and position. His actions were always in service of the Lannisters, even if it meant betraying the very king he was sworn to serve. Robert Baratheon was fatally wounded by a boar. This seemingly tragic accident was, in fact, a carefully orchestrated event. The hunt was no mere sport, but a deadly game with the highest stakes. Pycelle's role in this was subtle yet crucial, ensuring that the king's injuries were beyond healing. Pycelle attended to the dying king. His presence at Robert's bedside was not just a duty, but a final act of loyalty to the Lannisters. As the king lay dying, Pycelle's true allegiance was clear. He was there not to save the king, but to ensure that his death would pave the way for the Lannisters' rise to power. The wounds were grievous, beyond any maester's skill. No amount of healing could save Robert from the injuries he sustained. Pycelle's efforts were a mere formality, a show of concern that masked his true intentions. The king's death was inevitable, and Pycelle made sure it served the Lannisters' cause. Later, Pycelle admitted a chilling truth to Tyrion. In a rare moment of candor, he revealed the depths of his loyalty to the Lannisters and the lengths he would go to serve their interests. His confession was a stark reminder of the dangerous game being played in the shadows of the court. If Robert's wounds had not been so severe, he would have ensured the king did not recover. This revelation laid bare the true nature of Pycelle's character. He was a man who would stop at nothing to achieve his goals, even if it meant betraying the very people he was sworn to serve. In the dangerous world of courtly intrigue, Pycelle was a master player, always one step ahead. When Tyrion Lannister arrived in King's Landing, he came as acting hand of the king. He was determined to assert control and to root out disloyalty on the small council. Grand Maester Pycelle quickly fell under his suspicion. Tyrion devised a clever test to confirm his doubts. He fed different pieces of false information to Pycelle, Varys and Littlefinger. Each piece concerned plans for Princess Myrcella. Pycelle did not disappoint Tyrion's expectations. The false information given to him about sending Myrcella to Dorne was promptly relayed to Queen Cersei. Pycelle did not languish in the black cells forever. His saviour was none other than Tywin Lannister. When Lord Tywin returned to King's Landing, he restored Pycelle to his position as Grand Maester. The Citadel had proposed Maester Gorman Tyrell, but Tywin preferred the familiar, loyal Pycelle. "Pycelle is a toad," Tywin once remarked, "but better a Lannister toad than a Tyrell toad, no?" Tywin valued Pycelle's unwavering devotion to his house. Pycelle continued to serve even under duress. Queen Cersei Lannister pressured him greatly. She was plotting against Queen Margaery Tyrell. Pycelle was forced to publicly admit something. He confessed to providing Margaery with moon tea. This admission aided Cersei's scheme against her rival. When Cersei herself was arrested by the Faith, Pycelle saw an opportunity to assert control. He seized control of the small council, but his actions made him enemies.